What up, bro?
What's going on?
Man,
You
hanging,
see
bro.
me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing, bro?
I'm all right, man.
Good, good. Man, I'm glad you were able to work it out with me, bro. I appreciate you, Doc.
Oh man, I've been hearing about you, brother. I've been hearing about you, man.
Hey, man, I'm just trying to do that good work, man, and just make sure that I'm contributing in a positive way to the
Right.
musical landscape. In another way that I guess we need right now. You know what I'm saying? With everything that's
Definitely.
going on. So,
Definitely.
I'm glad to talk to you, man. I've been just in your world, man, and I see some similarities in our stories. So I'm excited to kind of go over some of that.
Okay.
Let's start with Albany, bro.
Oh man.
Man, what's Albany like? I've lived in Atlanta for like over 10 years, and I've never been to Albany. So kind of give me the scoop on what Albany's talking about,
Man,
real.
listen. If you want some good Southern food, man, I mean, you know how Atlanta is, but they call Albany, Georgia, man, like the deep, deep, dirty South, man. Like we call it the mud, man. Because it's like you can't get no deeper than mud.
Yeah.
But um, but it's a beautiful place, man. It's a small city. Some of the greats don't came out of that, kind of came out of Albany, Georgia. Ray Charles don't came out of Albany, Georgia, man. And people don't really know that
Yeah.
because the story was told a little different. But but it's beautiful, man. Like it's a lot of it's a lot of culture there. It's a lot of growing up, the background that I came from, like coming from church and stuff like that. All of that is there, man, and it feels like home.
Yeah.
It even though I know it's home, but it's a different when it feels like home. Like when you leave and come back, it's like man, like nothing changed.
Yeah.
Like when you come back home, it's, wow, like this is my real home. But it's so much in Albany, man, that I love, down to the food, down to the people, down to just the activities that goes on in Albany, man. I can't express that enough, man.
That's what's up, man. So what was a young JChosen like? I mean, there's so many things I want to dive into, so I'm trying not to get ahead of myself for
I
everybody who's
got
gonna
you.
be tuning in. But
I got you.
let talk, give me 10 and under, Jay.
10 and under. Oh man, a rough kid, man. Just in the neighborhood doing kidly things like playing basketball, chasing and everything that you could imagine that kids do at that age, trying to find myself as a youth, where I fit in at it, like or where I want to begin my life story of just everything that comes with growing up.
Yeah.
Basketball came from 10 and younger.
Okay.
Singing came from 10 and younger.
Oh yeah.
So it's a lot that I overcame even at a young age, not having a father in the house. So it was a lot to overcome
Yeah.
as an African American male. So, but it was fun. Like I have a strong mother that really, truly, 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 and raised us well. And I'm the youngest of four, so it's it was beautiful. It was beautiful to see her be that strong and raise four kids by herself.
Um, let's talk about sports just a little. We're gonna tease them.
Okay.
Um, let's talk about sports because you talked about 10 and under, discovering basketball
Right.
and taking to that, but also singing. The same thing
Mhm.
happened with me.
Right.
But I played football and I started playing football, organized football when I was 8, you know.
Okay.
But growing up in church and being around it, sometimes the music is just a natural thing. You never really look at it as its
Yes.
own thing because of where it's coming to you, where you have that experience and everything. So
Yes.
I want to ask you because dang, we're gonna get into it, but it's all good. That that push and pull, bro. So at
Yes.
what point did you, I mean, was there a particular point where you said, yo, basketball is my thing? You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I'm gonna really, really pursue it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what it takes to do what you've done.
right,
And that takes a certain amount of commitment
right.
over a course of over a course of time, while you're still maintaining your love for
Yes,
music and singing. That's
yes,
another
yes,
responsibility too. So I wanted to
yes.
get um kind of the story from you of when basketball became that thing that you were going to go hard for.
Well, basketball was my first love.
Okay.
Singing came just naturally from, just the background. But when I discovered basketball, um, organized basketball, middle school,
Okay.
and the coach just put me on the team because like you in PE playing around, he saw me playing around in PE. Hey, you need to come to practice, and that's how I end up playing organized basketball. But when I really truly locked in was high school.
Okay.
I was in high school. I was like, hey, I can do something, and I gained the popularity in the school because of what I did. And oh, I was in the band too. I was a band geek, man. Man, I played tuba. I and,
What?
and even now I tell people even how I sing. You know how when people do runs,
Yeah.
they run up. I run low, and it's just because that was instilled in me of even in band because I played the bass in band, and I always loved the sound of a bass, of this bass spirit. I tell people, I say, listen, you can't have music if you don't have the
Right.
bass. You got to have that bottom to hold all that sound,
Yeah.
and it went from basketball. Like I said, basketball started, and for me, when I really truly want to stick with it, is high school. When I started seeing the scouts coming out, and the scholarships started coming, I was like, oh man, like I must be pretty good. So that pushed me to graduate high school
Uh,
because where I'm from, a lot of people don't get that chance. And my background, my brothers, both of my brothers, they didn't finish. They went back and got they didn't finish. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, I need to be different. I need to set a pace and set a goal for myself. And that's what I did. I didn't have a lot of people in my corner pushing me. So I was like, well, who's gonna push me if I don't do it myself? And that's when it started for me. It clicked in high school.
got you. Got you. Okay. Let's talk music. All
Oh
right.
yeah.
All right. So you mentioned Ray Charles and
Yes.
his Albany roots. So I can imagine what that's like growing up. I'm sure you were educated on that fact when you were
Yes.
coming up musically, but you have some other influences that I think are very important to note. Smokey Robinson, one of the best
Oh
songwriters of our time,
yeah.
of history. I mean, of all time, not even all time. Period. Um, but also the Marvin Gayes and the Stevie Wonders. What is it about those influences or those artists that influenced you? Because they're all different. They're all male artists. They all occupy some of the same space but they all have their own thing. So I was just curious of what thing was it about them that drew you to them as a music lover?
Oh man, like just some of the icons, man. It's the approach that Marvin Gaye took, approach that Smokey Robinson took as in writing and as an artist. It's an approach that Babyface took as a writer and an artist. You see what I'm saying? And people don't understand. Like the list goes on, even down to Michael Jackson. I looked at these people as icons, and I looked up to these uh, phenomenal artists because they was writing their own their own songs and other people's songs. It's one thing to write a hit for yourself, but it's another thing to write a hit for someone else. And so I tell people, if it's in you, push yourself to be better than what you think that you are.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know you great. Brother, you are great.
Mm-hmm.
But only you can push yourself to be greater than you think you are.
That's
And
true.
so And looking at all of these artists, I'm like, man, I want to be that. I want to feel that. I want to feel that type of not only love, but the passion that they had for it. Because when you got the passion, bro, it never leaves. It never dies. You could be 80 years old and you could be still sitting there writing songs like you was 12, 14, 21. Because if it's in you, it's just in you. And that's what the icons, the greats that my legends gave to me. And that's why I can sit here and say, I would love to do a Marvin Gaye song. I would love to do a Temptation song. I would love to do a Smokey Robinson song. I would love to do a Sam Cooke song. I would love to do all of these guys, all of these artists. They made me go even harder because I see what it took. They paid the nice way for us, man. That people are now getting. It's like they're getting sidetracked on real art and real music, man. And now we got what you hear now.
Yeah, we do. Man, I can't. Okay, cool. All right, cool. I needed that. Wait first. All right. Oh, okay, cool. We good.
Oh yeah, we here.
I was going to ask you. Okay, so you ended up playing basketball.
Right.
You ended up going to Appalachian State.
Yes.
And I know that is its own thing.
Yeah.
I played football, you know, and then I ended up running track at Louisville.
Man,
from my
I know that was
freshman year. So I know the basketball players had it way rougher than us when it came to the commitment. You really just don't really get a life at all. You know what I'm saying? So I know that is a particular type of commitment on the next level. But I was going to ask you, what was it like for you making that commitment, and then also when it comes to life, how did life interject in order to kind of solve the push and pull of music and sports?
Well, when it came down to music and sports, like I said, first it was basketball.
Yeah.
And see what happened with basketball, it dawned on me, and I had a great mentor as a coach. My coach was a great mentor, and I had 5 knee surgeries. So I was going through I was going like through my whole basketball career, I was going through knee surgeries. And so when it came down to me going to the next level, I could have went to the next level, but he really sat me down and talked and gave me some real knowledge about the next level. And when we talked, he was like, well, hey, you're going to want to have kids one day, right? Just question. I was like, yeah, I mean, why not? He said, okay, so do you want to be in a wheelchair by 30, 35, or do you want to be playing with your kids by 30, 35? No brainer to me.
Yeah.
And when he sat me, he said, I'm just going to be honest with you. He said, you're going to become a liability because of your knee history. And so, and that was hard for me to take because I felt like I was great and I could have been even greater to the next level. And so the crossover between basketball and music, it was like, I want to be somebody. I want to be somebody in some type of light.
Yeah. That
I'm noticed in something, because growing up, I was barely noticed. So I want to be noticed somewhere. I want to put my stamp somewhere to be like, you may not know me, but all of them over there, they know who I am. And I could be a role model for somebody else.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, you think you can't do it? No, I was that kid too. I can do it. You can do it. Anybody can do it. And music was already a part of it. Even when I was in school, I was doing music.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I was playing around, but I wasn't playing around.
Right.
So, and what pushed me to do music even more was my peers at that time, because they was like, well, hey man, you really sound good. why you won't actually pursue music? And I said, well, basketball is first, then music. That was my goal, to make it big in basketball, then venture off and do music.
Yeah.
Like a Shaquille O'Neal thing. So but it was hard though. It was really hard to try to keep that focus on both.
Yeah.
So
So, what happens post that conversation when it comes to the conversation with the coach? You just rock and roll through the rest of school. What goes on
that
factually?
that actually happened after the season when I was trying to make decisions on either going overseas or playing in the NBA. And when you like right there, man, when you right there and you got offers after offers, well, hey, we want you to come to this camp and work out. Hey, we want you to do, and I'm sitting there like, oh man, this is the dream. This is what it is. And we had that conversation and everything just went dark. And I was like, you know what? Now it's time for me to grow up and think about the future. Because yes, I could have been selfish and said, man, forget it. I'm going for it.
Yeah.
But I look at now how my life has turned around, and I look at it like, well, man, what would have happened if I would have just said, forget that, and I'm going to go do this?
Yeah.
Ain't no telling what would have happened.
No,
That first game, that first practice, that first workout. So I'm very thankful for being in the position that I'm in because of greater people being in my life and helping me make life-changing decisions.
Yeah.
So, and after that, man, I just went on with music. I was like, hey, man, well, what else am I gonna do to be great in? And I did my first open mic in Charlotte, North Carolina, man. When I did my first open mic in Charlotte, North Carolina, that was it for me. I said, yeah, I'm good. I
What
said,
song
this
did you
is
sing?
I sung Prophet Jones. I don't know if you remember this group, Prophet Jones, a
Yeah.
lifetime. And let me
Wow.
tell you, the crazy part about it was I forgot the lyrics. And the
Still went.
crowd went, this how I knew I had the crowd. The crowd went crazy because they wanted me to remember the lyrics. They was like, oh no, oh my God, no, you gotta get it. Come on, people was looking up the lyrics, man.
Wow.
It was just that great. And when I felt that presence of other people that don't know me from Adam and Eve, man,
Yeah.
don't even know me. I'm not even from you guys' state, city, to be like, man, we love this guy. We would buy what he's doing. And that's when it turned on. I was like, hey, I gotta go full throttle with it.
Yeah. So tell me what happens. You do some recording, you do some performing, and then you see the audition for The Voice. How does
Oh man, it went from it, just like you just pretty much said it. It went from me doing a couple performances. I went through an independent label, and that didn't work out. You know, people think when you sign with labels, it's gonna be all good and great, but you know that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
But I end up leaving Charlotte to move to Atlanta, and that's when everything started turning again. And so I was just like, forget it. Let me just try out and see what happens. It was very nonchalant because I had just got out of a contract with the label. And I was like, man, what am I going to do to set myself apart? And so I just said, let me just try out. I got the email about it. I went and tried out. It was like 10,000 people there for the first audition. I was like, oh man, like, how am I going to get picked out of this? So, and going into the first audition, they passed me through. The second audition, I was like, oh man, okay. They passed me through the second audition. I was like, okay, what now? Got a call. Hey, man, we want you to come out here and do another audition in front of the executive producers. Me? Okay. So that's when the Marvin Gaye came up.
Gotcha.
That's when I think that was the first time when I did the executive producers audition. That's when I did the Marvin Gaye, and they was like, we got something here. And then I had a story behind me as well, too. And it went from there, man. And I told myself, I always had this in the back of my head when I said, if I can do that, why be nervous about what you're passionate about?
Mm-hmm.
This is yours. Take it and go with it.
Yeah.
Like they say, let your light shine, let your voice go, man. Like if you play an instrument, let it go. Because you know who you are. And if you don't know, you better find out who you are.
Yeah.
And that was my motivation to myself, even on the show. I was like, yeah, the show doesn't define me because I was singing before the show. It's like we found each other. It was just perfect timing, and it went from there, man. And I loved every minute of it, man. Met some great people, and still connected with a lot of people to this day. And when we see each other, we see each other. It's like brothers and sisters, man. Like it's crazy, it's crazy, but it was great.
For those people who um who may not really have an idea of what it's like to be in that type of environment, I know there's a lot of stress involved. There's a lot of waiting involved, long
Hurry up and wait.
days. Yeah.
Hurry up and
So
wait.
I wanted to ask you what from that experience you have taken away that you can potentially use, that you've been able to use since that experience in your professional career.
Honestly, everything that I went through on the show, I summed it all up to be like what I grabbed from it is make sure when you on stage or whatever you do, be confident because you're there for a reason. When you
Mhm.
have a show, you're there for a reason. That means someone believed in you enough to book you or have you here to play, sing, dance, whatever it is. It's like go out and put on your show. It's your show. Go out, and that's what I gained from it. Every time I stepped on that stage,
Mhm.
I wasn't trying to impress the judges. I was really doing what I knew how to do. And that just so happened to impress the judges. So they was, because I kid you not, my practices was my every practice that I had before like going on TV and going on the big stage sucked.
Really?
Me, Gwen Stefani, we was sitting in there and she was like, I don't know what's going on with you, Jay. Like, where are you right now? And I was like, I don't know. And she said it on stage. She was like, it's just like when you on stage, you just come alive. Cause rehearsals, I'll just be like, I know what I'm gonna do. So it's like me rehearsing this it's gonna be totally different what I'm gonna do on stage. Because once you have that feeling of people watching, that's the light right there for me. That's the excitement part. I'm like, okay, well, y'all came to see, so I'm gonna show.
Exactly.
When I'm in rehearsal, I can do whatever in rehearsal. Nobody see you shooting in the gym.
Yep.
People just see that moment, and that's one thing I could take for Celine Dion as well. That she was a mentor on there, and she coached us as well. She said, when you're on the stage, they looking at you, demand, demand it, and that's what I took from it. And man, every time I get on stage, every time anything I do, I'm like, you here to see me, so I'm gonna show you.
Yeah. I
So
mean, listen, man, I don't want to, you know, dwell on it, but I do want to say that I saw your blind
mhm.
audition. I've seen many blind auditions, and the feeling that Alicia Keys got when
Yeah,
she hit her button, I know what that feeling is like. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
man,
When you
yeah,
see
man,
somebody feel that, you know
yeah,
that comes from an honest place. So
right,
you connected you connected to people who hear music all the time, every day. And even in that situation, it's such a
yeah,
fast moving process.
yeah,
You
man.
got to make an impact in order to move somebody. So to move four people is to your credit. I want to make
Yeah,
sure that I
thank you.
acknowledge you for
I
that,
thank
because
you for
that's
that,
not
man.
an easy thing. There's pressure, there's all that stuff
Oh
that's
yeah,
involved. So, look, listen, trust me, I applaud you, bro.
thank you,
I
man.
wanna I wanna I wanna read you a quote that I've seen as it relates to you, and this is from
Okay,
Alicia Keys, and
okay,
and then I have a question or two about it.
okay.
All right, and I just to make sure I have the quote exactly right. She said, "Marvin Gaye is clapping from heaven, and people do not sing like you anymore." Period. She also says, "It's a blessing to be in your presence and to hear true vocal vulnerability from a man." Now, first of all, you got Alicia Keys. You have Alicia Keys saying that to you in
Yeah,
your face, and forever in history, because it's a moment that never goes away.
yeah,
It
man.
is it's a piece of your resume now that you have from someone who is a valid source, a
Yeah,
reliable source as it
yeah.
relates to music. So that's a huge compliment to pay um, on the record like that. And not a lot of people get that. So my question to you is, why don't people sing like you anymore, Jay?
Mm. Honestly, it's too much of mimicking.
Mm,
I feel like the music today, don't get me wrong, I throw no shade to no artist. When it comes down to R&B, a lot like now, only people only think of one person, Chris Brown. So guess what people do? You got what, Bryson Tiller, that a rap singer. You had Drake, that's a rap singer. You have what's the other kid name? Tory Lanez, that rap singer. So when all of this came about, people forgot about us
yeah.
because that became the new norm. So now when you hear somebody like us, eh, it becomes he all right. But then again, you get someone that really knows music. They like, that's special. Because guess what? Nowadays you got to be versatile.
Yeah.
You got to know how to really sing your behind off. Then you got to know how to be really dumb. I call it dumb singing because it's like you rapping but putting a harmony to it.
Yeah.
You got, because then you had Future coming out, rap, singing. And so, and the list goes on and on. And when you continue to hear this, when the younger people continue to hear this, they forget about the Smokey Robinsons. They forget about the baby face. They forget about the Michael Jackson. They forget about all of that, all of the icons, the James Brown. Like James Brown probably had four words in his song, 10 at the most. But it was the instrumentation behind it that gave it a different feeling.
Yeah.
And people
So
don't
true
understand.
though.
I know. I tell people that all the time. I say, right. And James Brown had the best quote ever. Feels good, right? Sounds good, right? Then it is good. So it's like I tell people, like, what are you, what what are we shooting for? Everybody's shooting for a different star now, but they're going in the same direction. You see what I'm saying? How you shooting for a different star, but y'all going in the same direction? And me, I'm shooting for a different planet
Yeah.
to build my own foundation. So they be like, JChosen is different. Anybody I played music for, kid you not, I know I can get the women. I want to get the brothers on the back end and say, hey man, that guy is special. I went in the barbershop one time and just started playing my music. Two guys that sit in the barbershop, they was like, bro, you different. Don't know me, but he was like, bro, you are different. And I tell people, I want to make different acceptable. And having a singer like me, having someone like you, you know, bro, we from a different cloth. And the people say it all the time, but we really are.
Yeah.
Because I don't heard you, bro.
Appreciate you.
I'll slap you through this phone. I don't hurt you, man. Bro, you're dope. You're dope, man. So I was scrolling this. I said, man, we got to do something.
We got to, bro.
And so, and to get that from another artist that's doing the same thing, you know it has to be true.
Yeah.
Like when people ask me, oh, who would you like to work with? The people that I just named, I wouldn't name them. only way people would name those type of people is for notoriety.
Mm-hmm.
Because the music level is totally different styles. Because if somebody heard my music, they'd be like, oh man, I can hear you with a Joe Thomas. Oh man, I can hear you with a Tank. Oh man, I can hear you with, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Versus saying, oh man, I can hear Bryson Tiller on that.
Yeah.
It's two different lanes, man. And like, no disrespect to them, they made it. They made their lane, and kudos to you. But when you're dealing with an artist like JChosen, we going, man.
Yeah.
We going full throttle, bro.
You know, it's there's something about being able to deliver. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You still have to. It don't matter what the beat is. It don't matter what the words are. There still has to be some type of delivery from the vehicle that all that stuff is coming through to the person who's hearing it. And if they don't feel anything, then
Listen,
it don't matter.
I write to no lyrics. People be like, hey man, what you gonna put on that? I said, right now, Mumbo Jumbo. I said, because I get a melody. You get a melody line first. Because the melody is what people are gonna remember. Then if they remember the melody and you put something real simple or just sweet on that melody, they're gonna be like, man, that's a song right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people, don't overthink when you write. Just have fun. Have fun and just deliver. But my thing is my approach to music. That first approach, I want to grab people's attention. From the first note, the first whatever I said, I want you to be like, hey man, hey, what did you just say? That's what my music, that's how I want my music to be like, hey man, rewind that, because I heard it, but I heard something.
Yeah. Why does it seem like it just seems like people have taken the concept of certain concepts and they've just it's almost like you have your favorite candy. Like I love pralines and
Mm-hmm.
like butter pecan ice cream or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But if I ate a whole tub of that, it would be over for me, right? So it's
Right.
like when it comes to certain concepts that have made music long lasting, like a concept like simple, right? Simple is there's a way for simple to be great. But people take simple just at face value and they don't try to expand. There's a way to go into the one word that is simple and make it into something expansive.
You
Stevie
spent.
Wonder, you know what I'm saying? Smokey Robinson, they weren't great songwriters because they wrote a whole bunch of words. They were able to capture a whole bunch of words in a few words with the great melody. Like it's the combination of all those things, and I just don't think people care enough. They don't
And,
care as much as you do. You know
right.
what I'm
And,
saying?
and nowadays R&B has changed to rap.
It really is.
And it's like now you have rappers that want to sing, then you have singers that want to rap. And it's like nothing is wrong with it for certain songs.
For sure.
But at the same time, be true to who you are. If you versatile, cool, but come out that way.
Mm-hmm.
So people know the real you.
For sure.
And so, and I don't know, man, man, we could talk all day about
Yeah,
this,
we
brother.
can. We can.
Oh my
I
goodness.
wanted to ask you
Mm-hmm.
um, something else. My last thing about the voice, which I think it speaks more to people who aren't necessarily sure what
Mm-hmm.
goes on. I saw this documentary, right? If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. Uh, it's basically about Olympic athletes,
Mm-hmm.
the withdrawal that they feel after the Olympics are over. And
Mm-hmm.
after they win, even after they win, like the
Mm-hmm.
psychological stuff that they go through, right?
Ooh.
People don't think about what happens with Michael Phelps after he's all his whole life has been Olympics and now he's done, or somebody who's been training
You're a
for the
normal
Olympics.
guy.
Yeah, so it's like so unpack that for me as it relates to the voice, because you're there, people know you, it's this type of treatment, whatever, and then at some point, even when you win, it's over with.
It's over with. And
So
on that question, I tell people to live in that moment. Because even with music, it's moments. Because you're not gonna last forever, but your music will live on forever. So live in your moment. It's just like these shows. Like people are like, oh man, you didn't get signed, you didn't get this, you didn't get that. Oh man, why? Oh, oh, you should be on this label. Who said I want to be on the label? You see what I'm saying? And when I came home from the show, it was still normal. People knew me on TV. A couple of people, I'll be honest, I ran into a couple of people. Oh man, I remember seeing, but it was normal. And people have to learn how to accept that just because you did something great for a moment doesn't mean people have to sit there and kiss your feet forever.
Thanks.
Because you should do it for you first. Because guess what? You have to live with that. Now, everything that you're asking me and telling me, that's here. That's here. Like, oh man, I remember when Alicia Keys said that. I remember when Adam said this. That's my memory. That's my life story. That's my greatness in my book.
Mm-hmm.
That I accomplished that a lot of people would never accomplish. So guess what? That's my lane. That doesn't mean you're not great. That doesn't mean you don't have your lane, or that doesn't mean your moment is not coming if it has already came or not. I just tell people you have to live in that moment and make other moments. Because other moments from that, I had other moments. Yeah, that moment helped. But you keep going. It's like music. A lot of people say they can live off one song, but after a while it dies off.
That's true.
After a while, it dies off. It's like, oh man, oh, I remember that song. Versus saying that's a song I want to have on my playlist that I hear constantly.
Yeah.
You make new ones. You make new memories. You make new, you have new goals. So now what you gonna do? So you're gonna live off that one song forever? No. You continue to push. You continue to find that motivation. Say, hey, if I did it here, I can do it anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I tell anybody, that was my mindset. After getting off that stage, I said, if I did it here, I can do it anywhere in the world.
Yep.
And that's what I tell anybody. I said, if I can do it, you can do it. Because I know I was a nervous wreck. But you have to motivate yourself and come to the realization to say, well, hey man, I am someone. I am great. And if you get that in your mind, the only person that can defeat you is you.
So you leave, you come back, and now,
Oh, yeah.
Did you immediately know musically what your sound was? I'm into understanding about your sound. How do you?
I was still growing in my sound.
Okay.
I was still growing in my sound because my sound started changing. I started listening to different tracks. I started listening to different ideas. And I was like, well, hey, I want to shut off everything. Because if people ask me now, who do you listen to? Me?
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to be perfect with me first. Yeah, I may be in the car with other people and they may like a certain artist, but when I'm in the car myself, I listen to me because I want to perfect me. I probably shouldn't have did that. I could have did something else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always thinking of how to get better at being JChosen. So coming back from that, like my sound changed, and I end up moving again,
Okay.
chasing it, never stop chasing it. And now I'm in the tri-state area, chasing it. You see what I'm saying? And I tell anybody, I said, if you got a goal, if you got a dream, who's stopping you from going after it?
Mm-hmm.
You can't be afraid to fail, because we're all going to fail at something. But how are you going to know how I feel to fail to not do that again?
Yeah.
Because if you sitting there think, oh man, I don't want to fail, you're already failing yourself. Because now you're not going to go full throttle. Because if you go full throttle and not think about failing, when it happens, you're gonna be like, ah, that hurt a little bit. But I'm so determined. I didn't even notice that I failed.
Wow, that's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
man.
I I've also seen that you have um, been acting as well.
Oh
Um,
yeah, man.
I wanted to ask you. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in. By the way, I'm Candid with JChosen.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you about acting. If it's as natural as singing is to you, or are you accessing the same talents, or how does that go?
Man, it's so funny you asked me that because every time I do something with people or just act and do whatever, people ask me like, man, how long you been doing this? It's like, I don't have no years on it, man. I said, this is really me. And people always compliment me on how natural it seems and how comfortable I am in my skin and who I am. It's like, man, that you don't get that from a lot of people. I said, well, I can only do me. And so I feel like when it comes to acting, it is as natural as singing. Only reason because I love doing it. I love being that center of attention. And so by me loving that, it comes out of me. Have you ever seen how Michael Jackson used to be? Oh, I don't want to do it, but he'll break out a dance move. I don't want to. He give you that, but he know he about to tear it down. He be like, oh, I'm so shy. But then he sit there
Yeah,
and just rip it up, and you be like, man, you playing us.
yeah, for
So
sure.
yeah, so it's like that, but I'm so outgoing with it though. I tell anybody I'm an outgoing person, so what you see is what you get with me. So acting or not acting.
Yeah. Tell me about the role that you have though
Oh,
as Ace in Pressure.
oh man, and oh man, Ace is a player, man. And I said, man, y'all got me playing a player, man. I said, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I said, look, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna play. But it's it's one of those short films that life learns you. That's what I got from the character. Like life learns you. Like you can only play for so long till you find that one that really locks you. And then she started playing.
Do you believe
And
that?
then, you feel what I'm saying? Yeah, I do. Because they say you can miss the boat and sometimes it won't come back around. And then you just have to settle. Who wants to just settle when you had that greatness that you felt? And now you don't feel that no more with nobody. Now you're a lost soul, man. Because with that person you felt that, but she got away. Or in women's case, he got away.
Hmm.
And so it goes back and forth, man. And it's nice. It's really nice how they put the storyline together and wrote it up, man. It's really nice.
Oh. So you've released music.
Oh yeah.
When you first came in, I was playing a recent single of yours.
Okay.
And I know you've been working on your first studio album. I wanted to ask you about that process. Um, as you know, you're getting in, you're mixing it up. What is it that you're finding in this process that is really helping you figure like, yeah, this is the type of stuff that I really feel like allows me to be who I am as an artist musically? Like what sonics, have you been experimenting with or can we expect? And then I want you to talk about So Blown Away as well.
Oh man, when it comes down to the creative side of just creating music and creating the music, I call it the music chain, man. Um, I go to different places of what happened to me or what could have happened or what I missed and just relatable stories that people could really relate to and grasp because I learned when it comes down to writing, people want something real. And
That's
even if it's a fantasy, make it real to the point that somebody out here is gonna be like, man, I remember when that happened to me. I remember that love. I remember that sorrow. I remember that feeling. And when you can capture that, when you can listen to a song that's your song and it brings tears to your eyes, that's deep, man.
Yeah, it's real deep.
That's deep, bro. And listening to certain songs and putting a song together, I reach from every place. Family, loved ones, past relationships, problems that I caused. I pull from everywhere to make that one chosen world
Mm.
that I want people to really grasp and see that, hey, no, I'm not perfect. No, I don't live a perfect life. No, I'm not good all the time, but I'm a great soul.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And that forms that chosen world, and I want to bring people into it. That's why I
Yeah.
said I'm on a different planet, bro. I want to I want to bring people to my world and be like, dude, where have you been? When you can get somebody to say that and be like,
Yeah.
man, where have you been? And it's like, I just been waiting on you to find out, to find me. Because you've been searching here, over there, over here, but I was right here. And when people find you, man, it's a beautiful soul, man, to hear people's, oh man, I heard of that guy. Oh, I love that song. Then it comes to So Blown Away. The single, man, So Blown Away is the sum that up. It's just showing you that it's showing you a different love.
Mm.
It's showing you the love that everyone really wants. Everyone, when you when females go off to college, they looking for their husband. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
And and they want to be. If you ask any female, and whatever kind of love you are, like I tell people, I said this is a song that touches everybody. I'm not homophobic. This touches everybody. Whatever your love is, don't you want that person to blow you away? And don't you want to blow someone? You want to blow someone else away?
Yep.
Like I want to see how that feels. Because some people either have it now, or some people experiencing it now, or some people had it and they lost it and they still been searching for it. And when they hear it, they like, oh my goodness. This dude here has touched everything that I've been waiting for in a song. And we came together, man, and the writers on this song, man, phenomenal people. The team, oh my God, man, it came out to be beautiful. I just told him, I said, man, I just want to deliver the package.
Yep. Yep.
I said, because you can write words down all day, but if you don't deliver that package, people are gonna miss the message.
That's it.
So, and just to come and we formed So Blown Away, man, and Uncle Jams, man, they put the production behind it. Chanel Red, they put the penmanship behind it, and JChosen, man, he put the vocals behind it. So,
Yeah.
and oh man, and it goes on, man. And I'm so thankful for my team, so thankful for the management team, and they're beautiful souls too, man. And to believe in me the way they do, I couldn't ask for a better team.
Yeah. You right. You right. Shout out to shout out to Elise. She be
Yeah,
on it.
man. Definitely,
She be
definitely.
on. I definitely feel like you've got a great team that believes in you, and they correspond. That belief is there's a correspondence with action. When people say
Because
they
they know
rock
I don't
with
do a lot
you,
of talking. I don't do a
yeah,
lot of talking when it comes to certain things. Like when it's business,
yeah,
I just be like, let's get it done.
yeah, yeah,
You know. and
Yes,
and and we complement each other very well on that. And I love my team for that.
that's what's up, bro. I mean, trust me, I know what it's like to have a boo boo team. You know what I'm
Me,
saying?
I
I
went
know.
through two, so
So,
I know. I went through two, brother. So I
so,
know.
I wanted to um, give you the last word. Um, I want to say you might have something coming up in the near future. I want to make sure that you plug that. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah. This Sunday, 6 o'clock, August 23rd, I will be doing my second concert on JChosen Music Live here on IG at 6 o'clock. And we're gonna have a good time. And then afterwards, we're gonna do like an after party with some of me and my Kneecap label friends, man. And I'm gonna let them shine and do their thing, man. We're gonna have a great time. So, man, please stop by, man, because I may plug you in there. So stop by, brother. I may need you to come in and do some stuff for me, man. So stop by, man, for real.
I,
But
I will
everyone,
stop
please,
by,
please
bro.
follow, man. Follow JChosen Music. That's on everything. That's Facebook, here on IG, everywhere, man. And so and please go get that soul blown away, man. I promise you, you will not be disappointed with it.
That's what's up, bro. Man, listen, I had a great time talking to you, man. It
Oh
was
man.
very carefree. Feel like I'd have known you for years, bro.
Oh
So
man. That's
that's
how it's
always,
supposed to be, brother. That's
yeah,
how it's
bro.
supposed to be. I tell
Yeah,
people when you talk to people, they supposed to look at you and be like, man, you're a stranger, but I feel like I grew up with you.
yeah. Facts,
Thank
bro.
you for having me, man.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. I'm definitely gonna stop in on Sunday. I've already been listening to everything and just know that I rock with you, bro.
Thank you, man.
And it's important for me when I rock people with people as a person
Yeah,
first. You know what I'm saying? Even extending to the education field because I taught
yeah.
French for 9 years. So
Beautiful.
yeah,
Wow.
so I know what it's like to be a black man
Oh
in
man.
around kids, affecting them in a
Yeah,
positive way. So I shout out to all the teachers, shout out to
definitely, bro.
anybody who's ever taught. You know what I'm saying? It is a underappreciated, underpaid
Oh my
profession. You
God.
are a parent.
You
You
are a
trust
parent.
me.
You can stop right there. You're a parent. You can stop right there. People, and I didn't understand it until I got in the field. I was like, these are parents that's taking care of your kid and parenting, pretty much parenting your kid. Because
Mhm.
everything that you're getting taught at home, you're getting taught at school.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Brother,
So
you're a blessed soul, brother. Yes,
trust me,
sir.
bro. Trust me
Yes,
when I
sir.
tell you. So, I just wanted to tell you that connect with. I told you there's a lot of similarities, bro. So,
Yeah, man.
when what I'm saying, and the vibe thing too, man. So just know
Yeah.
that if I have an opportunity to be able to extend my talents in any way towards you getting to where you're trying to get to,
Yeah,
man,
man.
I will. You got me. So,
Oh man. I'm
that's
definitely gonna be hitting you up, brother.
yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
cause
Do so.
yes, sir, man. But thank you for having me again, brother.
No problem, no problem. I'm gonna wrap up, man. But we'll talk offline and we'll get this thing going.
Yes, sir, man.
All
Thank
right,
you, man.
bro.
All right,
Peace.
man.